Evening guys, another little extra one for you this week. I'm currently sitting in a Scania. Now some people will be able to identify I'm in a Scania, but please trust me, I am in a Scania. And driving for a general haulier today. So I got the old hard hat and all the other bits and bobs, but it's because I'm driving for a general haulier, this unit is actually somebody's own unit style thing. Not an owner driver or anything like that, but it's their designated unit. And he's got all these bits and bobs in here, so I'm not really going to show you around too much. I might take a couple of photos and add them in here and there so you can see them. Not like there isn't a huge amount of room in the black just there. But yes. This is an automatic Scania R420, if you give a crap. And I know so many people do. Oh, it's a Scania. Oh, it's a Scania. Oh, it's a Scania. Oh, it's a Scania. The R420, this is fleet spec, and I'm hauling timber today. It's a curtain sider, it's not a flatbed. I haven't had to do any sheeting and strapping. I haven't had to become a professional driver yet, don't worry. But, no, I'm hauling timber. And this thing is gutless. I know it's only the 420, so I can't really say too much. It is a down-tuned engine, whatever. But oh, is this thing gutless? It's barely making it up some of the inclines on the A406. So, but this evening, and this is one of the reasons I didn't bring any forward-facing cameras, because obviously, when it's a case of general haulier here and there, you know, I don't really care that much. It's not my main source of income. But because I was doing a night run, I've never worked for these guys before. I don't know what the protocol was. I didn't bring any cameras. If I work for them again, I will do. But it's been a bit of a cock up tonight. Basically, I'm running out of place in Purfleet, and had to go to the Isle of Grain. So you go down the A2 289, and you follow that out to the Isle of Grain, basically. Excuse me. And you get all the way down there. You got the docks and all that kind of stuff. Go pick up the trailer with a load on it, and I've got to take it to a place in Tottenham. Okay, whatever. Now I started at 1700, but because I've never been here before, I've had to go through their kind of welcome pack, if you like. Their you've been trained on this, you've been trained on that. Read this pack, sign this, sign that, sign the other stuff. So that takes a good 30 minutes at least. So I started at 1700. About 5:30, signed everything off, and they're just waiting for one of their guys to come back. The guy whose unit this is came back, and I was sent chasing across the yard. So off I go, find him, and I let him know, and he says, "Do you smoke?" I went, "No." He went, "F me, you're English. Right then, get in the passenger side, I'll run you through everything in the cab." which is a reaction that I get quite a lot, and I know, you know, you're dealing with a certain kind of individual in that situation, but I get that so much because I'm agency scum. I go wandering over, and they're looking at me like, "Oh, it's another one of those." Oh. And then I say something, and you just watch them perk up. You're like, "You're English? Yeah? Get in the passenger side, mate. I'll show you through the unit." And they just show you everything. But what do I think to the Scania? Oh yeah, no, sorry. I haven't got to that part yet. Oh. It has been one of those days. It's just been an absolute cock up. So I've got the unit. Get back on track, don't worry. I've got the unit. Been shown through it. Have a conversation about bits and bobs. I say where I'm off to. He's like, "Oh, well, you want to go this way. You want to stay to the left and follow it down." And anyway, get the load, and I bugger off to this place in Tottenham. Nobody told me, not a single person at any point, transport, driver, anyone, told me that the place in Tottenham closes at 2030. I don't get out of the Purfleet depot, and I'm running solo to go pick this trailer up, until 1800. So I've got to go all the way to the Isle of Grain, over the bridge, down the A2 and all that way. Find the trailer. Make sure everything's secured, because it is timber and they don't bother. They just load it, put the curtains down, and then you have to open up the curtains, put the straps on, yada yada yada. Put all the straps on. So unroll those bastards, sling them over, tighten them all up, ratchet them all up, and put the curtain down, hook up to it, do all my checks, all the whistles and bells. Takes forever. And then get to Tottenham from the Isle of Grain on a Friday night. I get there about 9:30, so I haven't done too badly. Everything's shut. And this place is, I think it's about half a mile down the road from White Hart Lane, Tottenham's home ground. And I've turned off White Hart Lane, I've turned in, and all the gates are shut, and everything's shut, and I'm like, ah. I'm looking around frantically for a number to phone, because nobody's told me anything. And so I've tried to get through, because in my little pack is the numbers that you phone. Nobody's answering. So I phoned my agency, spoken to one of the people who work there. They've then got in contact with somebody who they know deals with all of this. And they've got back to me. And they've said, right, well, if it's all shut up, no one's coming in, they don't run a night crew, take it back to the Isle of Grain. Okay, so my day is go to the Isle of Grain, pick up a load of wood, take it to a timber merchant's, or whatever they are, I don't know, it was all shut up, so I don't have a clue. And then take the same load all the way back to the Isle of Grain, and drop the trailer, and then go back to Purfleet, and that's it, that's my day done. But the not so funny part is, I've driven off of White Hart Lane to a closed gate. Now I cannot go down towards Tottenham Court Road. The place has permits to be able to get to certain clients and things like that, but I can't just carry on down. So now I'm faced with a blindside, Friday night, out of this driveway, onto White Hart Lane. And any Tottenham fans know exactly the road I'm talking about. Well, any football fans who've gone to that ground before now know exactly what road I'm talking about. And I'm just sitting there and I'm thinking, oh no, no, please, no. I've had such an easy life for the last 5 years, please, no. And I've been having a look round when I got there for numbers, and it said gate operations, phone such and such. And I'm thinking, well, it's Friday night. Everywhere is shut, because it's a little industrial estate. Everywhere's shut. Chances are they're not going to open the gate for me. But I phoned it anyway. I thought, you know what, in for a penny, in for a pound. I've only got a blindside onto White Hart Lane if I don't bother phoning, or if they say no. And I phoned up and got through to this security guard. He's answered within like one ring, and I said, look, I'm a class 1 driver and I have been dumped on. I was told to come to such and such a place, and it's all closed up. Now, I'm faced with a horrific, horrendous, annoying, pretty much illegal reverse. Is there any chance you could open the gate and let me turn round? And he was like, yeah, not a problem. What was the place you were going to again, mate? And I said the name of it, and he went, okay. And then the gate opened. I was like, I win. But yeah, my heart sank on that one, I'll tell you that, because I was sitting there, I was like, oh no. Oh, how am I going to get out of this? But that's the thing, for any drivers who are starting out. If you end up in a situation like that, look around for any number you can find. Because if you don't phone those numbers and just see who answers and see what they say, you're going to have to pull off a reverse manoeuvre that is, well, technically illegal. You've got to call 101 or whatever the number is for your location and get somebody out to help you. Because obviously reversing out of a blind concealed entrance onto a main thoroughfare and you're reversing blind, you know, there's parked cars everywhere, there's cars moving in between the parked cars, there's people, there's God knows what. Anything goes wrong on your head, be it. But yeah, that was fun. But no, what do I think to the Scania? We've got to that part, finally. Wait! I don't like it. I know, okay, it's a fleet spec, it's an R420, oh, you should drive the big V8 top line. That's fair enough. But remember, I'm agency scum. I drive fleet spec trucks. I drive the fleet spec Actros, the fleet spec Volvos, the fleet spec MANs. You know, I drive fleet spec. I don't like it. I really don't. The button for the exhaust brake, the engine brake, is directly in the centre of the floor. You've got the steering column and then a button in front of the steering column. If you use your left foot to do it, you're at a funny angle when you're driving it along. If you use your right foot to do it, you're at an equally funny angle. But if you're using the exhaust brake, the engine brake, chances are you're going to want to use the foot brake. Do you see the issue here? And if you try and do the heel and everything, you're basically kissing the windshield, because as you put your foot, get your heel, put your brake on, off you go. Who designed that? I mean, really, I know there's been buttons in floors for exhaust brakes for years. And it's basically how they started. I mean, I remember one of the tractors I used to drive, you had a thing directly in the centre of the floor. But this is years ago. This is 70s, 80s. You know, there's DAF, they've got one. And that's in the left footwell, in where the clutch would be, but it's automatic, so they've bung the button in there. Makes sense. Perfectly fine. I don't mind it. I've got no issues with buttons on the floor. But why right in the middle? Why? The cruise control. Bottom of the middle of the steering wheel. Why is the cruise control there? Why is there not the phone answering stuff or the radio volume control stuff? You know, your cruise control, you need to use it whilst you're driving along. And if you are driving along, you know, 9:15, 10 to 2, you've now got to go all the way down to there. Who designed it? I'm not a fan of them. I'm really not. And I know that's going to upset a lot of people. But if you gave me a choice between the R420 Scania and the 420 equivalent Actros, I'd be like, Mercedes, please. Because it's been... I was expecting so much more, you know. Scania, woo, everyone loves Scanias. And I've driven a couple of old Scanias, you know, the old manual bastards for Argos. They were all right. I had no issues with those, but they were slightly different to this because the floor kind of raised up to there and the gears were there, and it was quite comfortable in actual fact. But this, and the gears, ooh. I thought the gearbox was going to be quite, you know, kind of like the old the Volvo gearbox was quite good because obviously it's Scania. Ooh, it's not bad. It doesn't kind of leave you hanging. But it don't half thump into the gears. When you're running solo and it does that, it's, ooh, hello. What's that? What's going on here? Hold on, what's broken? What's broken? And if you're curious, it's done 99,530 kilometres. That's roughly 60,000 miles. And it's a bit. I mean, it's got all the buttons, it's got all the gadgets and gizmos, all the doohickeys, as I dare say you will have seen in some of the photos I'll have posted up, but yeah, it's a bit... maybe it's because I'm not used to them. Chances are that's it. You know, I spend a lot of my life in Merc Actrosses, so chances are it's because I'm not used to Scannies. I've just not acclimatised myself to them. But it's just certain little design things that confuse me. Like with the cruise control, why is it not on the left corner of the steering wheel, so you can use it with your thumb, or the right one, so you can use it with your thumb? You know, driving along, just use it with thumb. No, I've got to take my hand off the steering wheel, go to the bottom, hold it at the bottom, and then the resume is that side, the off is that side, the plus is up, minus is down. And the other thing, Volvos and Merc Actrosses, they will have a plus or minus, an overspeed setting. And they will hold, if you're in cruise control, they will hold themselves. They will use their exhaust brake, their engine brake, they will use the brakes, they will hold the speed. Which is very good, given what's the changes that are coming into speed legislation, everything like that, on the 24th, Monday. This doesn't. Now, DAF doesn't. I don't know about Iveco, never driven them, so I can't really say anything about those. MANs don't. I expected Scania to. Just because it's a Scania. You know, it's not in the same ballpark as MAN or Iveco. It's a step above, or supposedly. You know, it's in with the Volvos and... okay, I'm going to swear, the Mercedes. But it doesn't hold itself. I was shocked by that. I had everything set up, and you got your little green doohickey on there, letting you know where you are. And I thought, oh, it's low. It's
After 200 yards, follow the road to the right. Then, at the roundabout, take the 4th exit.
What the? So that scared me. But yeah, it set it all up, and I was set to 78 kilometres an hour as usual. And it had a minus. It had the lowest figure, I think it was 75, and the highest figure was 81, something similar to that. So I thought when it got to 81, I'd feel it kick in. And I'm trundling along quite happily, going down this hill. Of course, I got timber on, so I'm not exactly light. I'm thinking, this isn't 56, this isn't 50, 51. This isn't even 56. There's a Scania moving just next to me. I look down, and I'm pounding down this hill. I'm like, ooh, hello! But it doesn't automatically hold it, it's really weird. I would have expected that from Scania. So it's been a letdown, really. You know, in all fairness, it's been a letdown. So, I am genuinely upset about that. It sounds strange, I know, because I am a Mercedes man. I am a Merc guy. But I'm genuinely upset that I didn't like the Scania. It's comfortable enough, it's quiet enough. You know, it holds the road perfectly fine. Although I'm not really cornering it, because obviously I've got timber on, I don't want it going, way. But yeah, I'm genuinely upset. But oh well, anyway, that's enough from me. My break is coming to an end now. And it's got one of those stupid bleating... I'll take a photo of that and bung that in about now. Digital tacho thing. The driver who drives this put my card in for me. He was like, oh yeah, you do it like this, you do it like that. I'm like, okay, fair enough, whatever. So I'm not going to try and run you through it because I don't know. But the last Scania I drove had one of these. That was years ago. And they're an odd one. But anyway, that's enough from me. So thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, share about, do whatever it is you usually do. And I'll see you in the next one. Whenever that is. Well, I've just got back to the docks and walked round, and I've discovered I told you something wrong. This isn't an R420. No, it's an R450. Even more disappointed.